Now at this stage we're going to create this soft bevel that we get through here in the gun. If we go back over to Photoshop and look at the concept art, you can see that there's a bevel that then flows down through here to the bottom of the gun. So we want to go ahead and try and create that now. So the first thing I'm going to do is just isolate this portion of the gun that I want to work on. Just turn off the eyeball there, so that's the only one we're looking at. And we've got a bevel along the bottom of the gun here. Looks like I think I could actually, I might try and make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to go to planar line thin here, and I'm going to give a go at possibly making this bevel a little bit deeper. Let me take a look at how that looks. No, that's on the wrong angle. You have to be careful with these because it depends on the angle that you drag your line, the angle that it's going to carve that bevel out. So if you're doing a short distance, it's not that big a deal. However, if you've got a long distance you're going to traverse, any sort of variation in the angle is going to show up. You can kind of see it right here as well. So you need to be kind of careful with that. I think what I'm going to do here, just to make life easier, is I'm going to mask this out because I don't want to affect this area at all. I'm going to hide it. I go to the visibility or the show rectangle, and I ended up with a circle there. I'm going to hide this area entirely. And I'm just going to go ahead, turn on my X symmetry, and just use the clip curve to create the right bevel that I want. Go to clip curve, Control, Shift, click and drag, and we'll make the bevel at this angle. And that'll slice it right down evenly all the way. So it's really far easier than using any of the trim curve, or excuse me, any of the planar brushes. If you're able to just go down a straight line like that, you might as well use a clipping curve. There we go. Now all I need to do is bevel this area down to here. And it looks to me like there's a straight line here I might be able to get away with using a clip curve, but let's see if I can't maybe use something different. This is always a very experimental process when you're using these brushes because their effect, for me, varies based on the surface you're using them on. So, something that works well in one situation may not necessarily work quite as well in another. So you just need to be aware of that and experiment as you go. And be willing to try new things on these brushes. So I'm using the planar cut line. And that's not quite working at that angle. There we go. Getting a decent cut through there. I'm going to go to the brush menu, and I'm going to go to depth. And since I want it to cut in a little bit deeper, I'm going to turn the embed down to about 6. Drag right along the same line again, and that should bevel down nicely. I'll do the same thing again. There we go. It's giving us a real nice bevel now. I want to be careful not to go too high up here. There we go. I'm going to try and knock back some of those ridges there. I don't want those. And I'll do one more bevel. Actually, Go to the brush menu and press H for hard polish, and I'll just hard polish this area right here to get a nice sharp edge. Let me switch back. I was using my mouse just then, so I'm switching back to the tablet pen. And one more go with our planar cut. I need to bevel this area from here to here. Again, if we look at our concept, you can see what we're looking for. I'm going to go to M polish. Actually, I'm going to go to trim. I'm going to get my trim brushes. I'm going to select trim dynamic. And see if we can't trim this edge right here. There we go. That's much better. I'm just trimming down that hard edge. And I'll go to hard polish. Just try to get a nice hard edge through here. Coming back to my trim brush here. Make sure I select trim dynamic. I'm going to try trim dynamic soft. Going back to trim dynamic, just because that trim dynamic soft brush wasn't giving me enough of a visible effect. And I'm using hard polish now on both sides of the bevel, just trying to harden them. And I'll go to the pinch brush, turn on lazy mouse, and pinch this area right through here. And then I'll go to stroke and press replay last to replay that stroke.